So welcome to week 102. 102 becomes a 3, but that 0 in the middle there gives us that element of spirit, the power of the universe supporting us. Our thoughts reminding us to keep our thoughts high, because we are in the process of creating with the great creator. Okay, there was a bit of noise with the truck out there. So the 3, the energy of expansion, of illumination is upon us today. And the vision this morning when I went in and I saw the Eye of Horus, but the eye was closed and the eye was weeping. And I felt very much a strong message that it is really not about the closed eyes, not so much about being asleep, but more about just the blink. In the blink of an eye, everything happens in the greater scheme of things. What's happening for us right now is happening in the blink of an eye. And we close our eyes in the moment, and within a moment we will open our eyes and we will see with clarity. And the tear felt, it did feel like it did feel emotional. But it didn't feel like it was crying for us so much as more of a cleansing process for us to go through. So I've done the cards, and the first card that came out today is card number 9. And so this is reminding us that we are in end times. You know, this is an end cycle. And this is the first card, the card of the for the base chakra. So the first rung on the ladder. And so the first rung is the last number, basically. Number 9 is saying that there's always has to be an end of something before we can start climbing again. And the card is number 9, and it says, find your backbone. So I really feel that this is about standing up for what we believe in, standing up for, stand tall, and move forward and stay true to what you believe in without being forced into having to take on other people's truths, so on and so forth. This morning I decided, I've had a lot of things sent to me, and I decided that I'd probably stop reading articles because they're coming from all different areas, different channels, literally channels, and different mediums and of information. And I've decided to stop reading for a while because there is so much out there, and everybody has their own truth, and we each need to stay in our own truth. And that is because whatever is playing out and whatever it is that you are resonating with, then that's talking to you for a reason. But I've decided to step back a little bit, and because it sets in confusion, because a lot of people sending me a lot of stuff privately, and it's coming from all sorts of, so there's lots of different, not clashing so much, but a lot of different layers of information, and they are probably all true for that level. You know, like each dimension or each reality has its reality. We know, you know, the reality that we live when we were third dimensional consciousness, that was our truth, and that was exactly how it is, and that's the way it's been for eons and eons and eons and eons. That is the truth. Then we rise in consciousness into the 4th dimension, and that is our truth. We rise to 5th dimension, that is our truth, and so on and so forth. That goes on and on and on. So I don't say that any of it is wrong. Everything is true to a certain degree, as much as we can possibly know with what's going on with the great, you know, in the great scheme of things. So anyway, I've decided to step back. But here we go. The second card, which is the sacral chakra, is card number 5, and it is talking about the change, because 5 is about change, and it is about truth, and it says challenging times. So very interesting. And also, just as I said, sort of, I'll step back, shield myself a little. He's holding his shield in front of his heart and looking, you know, out for himself, so that he can, you know, do exactly what I said, just protect himself and be in that space. So challenging times as we move forward on the second rung of the ladder, the sacral chakra. And the third rung of the ladder is card number 2 of air. So this is more about the mind, and it's being unable or unwilling to make a decision, and certainly a stalemate, or possibly pretending there's no problem. And this is what's happening out there at the moment as well. This is the solar plexus card, which is the card that tends to express, people get anxiety and so on and so forth here. The unicorns are crossed horns here, different ideas, different thoughts, just as I was talking about before, different opinions, so being unwilling or to make a decision, that is the chaos that is happening at the moment. Unwilling, not knowing what's going on, not knowing what decisions you should make. I made the decision to stay in Egypt, but I have family in other parts of the world. I have friends that have made decisions to jump on flights and go back home to where they came from. There's lots of stories out there about, us being stuck on this side of the world for 2 years. There's lots of things going on out there. We don't know. But all of this information, which could be truth, could be misinformation, we don't know, can create a lot of chaos and a lot of fear. So as I mentioned in my writing earlier on today, this is exactly what it is all about. We are ascending. This is all about the ascension, and we must ascend through the chaos. And so, excuse me, holding our stillness is really important at the moment if you're able to do it. And but being open, with our chakras being wide open, we can be bombarded. So it's a good thing actually to go into isolation where you're not being bombarded by things. But the isolation probably should be a little bit of internet too, really, I'm starting to think, because I don't see people anyway where I live, and that's just the way I live it normally. But the internet can bombard you with a lot of information, some true, some not true, and you can get confused. So that confusion coming in there, setting the chaos in, stay within your heart. Stay with, this is that card of happiness. If we can stay out of the chaos, we're certainly going to be happy. I know there's a lot going on out there, because maybe some people are not noticing it because their life, depending on where you live, your life is just going on as normal and not necessarily noticing it. But I get a lot of, have a lot of people contacting me and telling me what's going on in their areas and so on and so forth. So I know what's happening out there. And but I can tell you that for some very unknown reason, I'm in a very good place. I've just come back from Israel doing the Codes of Resurrection. And I feel the happiest I've been for a long time. So this card is my card today, the happy card, happy in heart, happy in where I am, happy in what I'm doing, happy. This is what we want to do. What makes you happy? If you're in isolation, I think just about all the world is being forced into lockdown right now. Come back into the heart space and remember, what is it that makes you happy? I wrote a meditation many years ago that was runs through the chakras and talks about that type of thing. So just simply remember what made you the happiest in your whole life at some point, and stay with that. It could be now, it could be something from the past, but stay with that feeling of happiness and the joy that rises within your heart. Stay with that and allow that to guide you through. The next card is the card of the throat chakra, card of truth, and also the throat chakra it's the bottleneck. So it's where all of our challenges lie, because you have to squeeze through that to get, to the higher levels. And this card is a very illumined card. It's card number 3, very yellow. He's looking toward the future. A lot of new growth. on these wands that he has here, the Three of Wands. And he's an action man. He's wearing a red cape, which means he does put things into action. So he doesn't just, okay, at the moment he looks like he's just sort of like, yeah, I'm just sort of checking things out, just looking out over the horizon. He's looking out over the horizon. He knows there's better things to come, and he can see all of that yellow, the joy and the greatness that is going to come. A lot of growth with this green cape that he is wearing here, a lot of growth, a lot of healing, which in turn means a lot of growth. And you can see all of these new sprouts coming through here. So this is the card of the truth, moving through the bottleneck, moving through from fourth dimension into fifth dimension, into that new world. He's looking out over the new world and checking it out, letting the trucks pass. So here we are, looking out for the bigger picture. You know, this is the card of truth. The bigger picture is going to bring a more illumined state for us all. And the next card, I love the next card that came through. This is the sixth card, brow chakra, and it is Ascended Master Hilarion. And he says health and healing. So he's the great healer, and he's the Ascended Master of the etheric temple of truth, which is over Crete. And so he's guiding us through and into the truth. And when we look at healing, if we have any dis-ease in our body, because we are the microcosm of the macrocosm, and we are mini universes, our body is telling us that there is something not right within our universe, our little universe. So because we have this virus going global out there, it's basically saying to us that something is not right out there. Something is not in truth. And this is happening, this health thing that is happening is helping us to step more into the truth. So Ascended Master Hilarion has showed himself today really to remind us. He awakens the brow chakra, by the way. So it's no wonder he's come up in the brow chakra, because this opens gifts of the brow chakra, speaking in the language of light. Some call it speaking in tongues, speaking in sacred sound, vision, opening the eyes of vision, healing, and in particular, being able to hold the Immaculate Concept, which is holding pure thought on behalf of others. So the message would be, please stay in a state where you are holding pure thought on behalf of humanity right now. Start with yourself, start with your family, start with your loved ones, community, and for humanity in general. So holding pure thought on behalf of the others and not buying into the fear. So this is the card of truth in the brow chakra, and Ascended Master Hilarion. You can connect in with him in your sleep or your meditations, be asked to be taken to the etheric temple of truth in Crete to learn exactly what it is that he wants us to learn now, to go into this fifth world, the world of truth. Now the next exciting thing is, here we go. The seventh card for today, trust in Isis, the Holy Queen, Mother of us all. Embodied manifestation of love, as I mentioned in the reading that I brought through earlier today, to be embraced in the arms of the Mother. And Isis is the star of Sirius. And this energy of Sirius, the path to Sirius, is the fourth ray path that all of humanity are walking to ascension. Isis is the beloved Syrian energy that is asking us to come into her beloved arms, to be embraced in that ascension energy, the light of Sirius. And it's the home of Christ consciousness, and you can see as number 3 up here, bringing that Christed energy through. You can see the greater central sun here shining down upon us all, asking us to awaken and to arise higher. This couldn't be a more perfect card to come through today. Isis also, mother of Horus, and I saw the Eye of Horus today, and he being the Christed child. I just want to add up Isis 9, 10, 11, 20. Isis becomes a 20, and we're in 2020. So there must be something going on there. 20. I is 9, S is 1. I is 9, S is 1. So it's 10 and 10. So here we have beloved Great Mother Isis leading us through today, asking us to trust and to stay in that beautiful space. And she is welcoming us to embrace us within her wings there into the great light of Sirius. Now there's one more card that I wanted to draw today, which is, usually I don't do this, but today I was guided to draw another card. And this is simply a chakra card. So that we can see what chakra it is that we should focus on this particular week, from now until next week. Just one card, please. Oops, there we go. There we have it. The card that we are focusing on this week is the throat chakra. And the card that came up for the throat chakra today was this one, to keep our eye on the bigger picture, to recognize the illumined state that we are moving toward. So working on the throat chakra, being in the state of truth. What happened to Isis? She's disappeared. There she is. Really coming into your own truth and connecting with Ascended Master Hilarion, because he helps us in that area. So there we go, focusing on the throat chakra for this week. So that's it for the message for this week. And now we're going to move into the light codes. So if you are watching this on YouTube and you would like to receive the light codes, please connect with me. They are just 15 Australian dollars, which is really not very much these days. Our dollar has gone so far down. Connect for that, and I'll see you on the other side. Thank you. Please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you. Bye, everyone.